Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now today's video is going to be a selection of highlight clips from the past few days, starting off with a compilation of clips from Quattro Calenus from looking for rare Ibex. Because I have been looking mainly for rare Ibex, as I just stated, I have found a lot of diamonds along the way. Starting off with a couple of Southeastern Spanish Ibex level 4s that actually made diamond, which is pretty nice. I haven't shot a whole lot of diamond Southeasterns, so finding a couple of these actually at the same lake, these first two were at the same lake, was pretty cool. And this second one, I really like how it looks because its horns are really tall, which just for me, I think looks really cool. Also, the true racks on these guys are pretty cool. I've seen some really wacky and weird looking ones posted that have actually made diamond. So I'm kind of hoping to get a really weird looking diamond or maybe a diamond rare, because I feel with them making diamond at level 4, especially quite commonly for the Spanish Ibex and the Pheasant Ibex, that maybe getting a diamond rare could be a possibility, which would be really awesome if it did happen. But I'm happy enough to be taking diamonds along the way, and I really can't just turn down diamonds when they are just presenting themselves just so beautifully. Now, moving on to a level 5 Diamond Pheasant Ibex. I don't think I've had one of these guys troll since basically just after Quattro came out. Every other one I shot since has made diamond, which has been pretty cool. And of course they can make diamond at level 4 as well, but this guy definitely had the horns to be a diamond, and being level 5 as well, I was pretty confident he'd make it, and he is a 199.80, so not quite as big as I'd like it to be, but still a really decent size one. I like the Beseeks to be 200 plus, but I'll always take any more diamonds along the way that I can get. Now, this is going to be the only level 5 Greedos in this video, as actually I haven't found a whole lot of level 5 Greedos recently. And in terms of which diamond for the Ibex is the most common to the least common, I'd say the most common is probably the Beseeties, then the Southeastern Spanish, because I've found a lot of those very recently making diamond at level 4, then the Greedos, because I have been able to find a lot of them recently, just not in this particular video, and then definitely the rarest one to find out of the lot of them is the Rondas, and the Rondas are actually perhaps my favourite. I really like how they look. So yeah, there's only going to be one Ronda in this video as well. Like, as much as I've been hunting them, only found one level 5 Ronda. But here you can see another level 4 Pheasant Ibex that just looks huge. And again, with these horns that have that particular curve to them, I knew that this guy was going to make diamond. And he had a huge estimate as well. I'm picking him up, he is a 199.10. So another really decent sized diamond there. And moving on to the next clip, I did mention that I found a level 5 Ronda. Well, here he is. Now, I really do like the Rondas. With the amount of mass on their horns, they just look so cool. And this was the only level 5 that I've found out of multiple multiplayer sessions. So I would definitely say that these guys are the harder ones to find for making diamond. I remember when I was trying to complete my Grand Slam when I first got my PC account, that it was actually the Ronda that was the last one I could find as well. So I'd definitely say these are less common making diamond than the other ones. I haven't actually shot a diamond level 4 of these guys yet. I've shot a few that have had the estimate to be it, but just not actually made it. And like I said, these guys just look so cool. Such thick bases on those horns. Really awesome. And this guy is actually a really good size one at 110.90 when 107.90 is diamond. And he is actually bigger than the one that I had in my Grand Slam multi-mount. So he'll be going into that mount as a replacement for the previous one that was in there. And once again, another giant looking level 4 Pheasant Ibex. And again, got that particular sort of sweeping curve to those horns that I always recognise as being a diamond. And yep, double lung heart shot on a 197.50 diamond Pheasant Ibex. These guys are so common, it's not even uncommon to find multiple of them in the same herd. I have a few times, but I still think they look really cool. If I could get a rare diamond of these, I think it would be awesome. Imagine an albino with those huge horns. Now moving on to another couple of Quattro clips that aren't Ibex but kind of in the same vein. being in those areas looking for Ibex has meant that I have found a few large mouflon. One of them was this gorgeous level 5, which has sort of the different, I don't know how to describe it, but the different variant of the common fur to the dark brown and white patchy fur. And I actually really like this colour for the commons. It's sort of lighter and it has like black stripes down the face, and it looks really, really cool, and I really like it. And picking him up, he is a 183.70, which actually makes him my biggest diamond mouflon on this account. And yeah, he's really awesome. He was bigger than like I said, than any other that I found in my lodge afterwards when I compared them. So I was really, really happy to get that guy. And then I found this guy on another multiplayer, another huge level 5, with an estimate that I have never seen of up to 202. Now, I wasn't sure why he had such a wild estimate. He did look really good though. So I managed to drop him there with the M1, which was really, really awesome. A really good looking ram, and I was very hopeful that this guy would also make diamond. And picking him up, he is a 181.10. You can see this is the other variant of the common fur, which is darker with a sort of light spot on the side, and they are a really nice looking animal, so again, really nice find. Now, I mentioned I was looking for rares. Well, this is one of the rares I came across. Not exactly what I was looking for, and not a great shot, but it was enough to bring it down. That is, as you can barely see it escaping through the trees, an albino female Beseat Ibex. I have shot a couple of rare female of these Beseat Ibex and one very small male, but it is always cool to find a rare when you're actually out looking for rares. That shot was just too high, but it is just a female anyway, so no matter at all. And finally, for the Ibex clips, I found something really cool, and this is exactly pretty much what I was looking for. And I wasn't sure if, to start off with, if it was what I thought it was, but as it moved out of the shadows, I was completely sure of what it was. There's no mistaking it. That is a Melanistic level 4 Ronda Ibex. Now, it's not diamond potential at all, it does not have a high enough score estimate, but being a level 4, I was hopeful that it would be a gold as long as I made a good shot on it. It just looks so awesome. Having a rare that's actually a really good size for these guys is just so cool. On Xbox, I had an all albino Grand Slam, and I really wouldn't mind making another rare Grand Slam, but on my PC account, either of all melanistics or all albinos or a mixture of the two. I think it could look really, really cool again. And you can see, managed to put a shot in him there with the M1, and he really didn't go anywhere. Now, looking at these guys up close, you can see they've actually got really cool looking eyes. They're sort of like a lightish blue colour, and it just stands out so much against the black fur that they look really awesome. And you can see, not a huge set of horns, but a pretty decent set, and you can see that he is a gold scoring Melanistic Ronda Ibex at 94.30. So not the biggest ever, but he's more than big enough to go into the main trophy lodge as far as I'm concerned. That is a really, really nice rare Ibex. And I was really pleased to actually get something that I'd basically been looking for in all of those previous clips. This is the sort of animal I was actually out looking for. So I was incredibly happy to find this guy. So that was it for the Ibex clips. I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of a diamond and rare montage, basically. Managed to get every single piece of a diamond Grand Slam there, which was pretty cool, and I was really actually pleased that I managed to do that to put them in a video. And as I was actually again on Quattro looking for rare red stags, I spotted something white moving through the trees, and it was a piebald rhodo, which is pretty cool. Rare roe deer don't pop up that often. I've only shot a handful of them on PC and Xbox, so I really can't turn it down even though it is just a doe and I do have a piebald buck already. But they are just so uncommon to find that it is always nice to actually see one. And you can see they are such a beautiful model, the piebald roe deer, having all the sort of different brown shades mixed in with the white. So I will definitely tax her to put in, at least in a secondary lodge. She can fill up a small plaque because they are really, really beautiful. And as I've mentioned many times before, do have a soft spot for the roe deer, so I'm always happy to bag another roe trophy for any one of the lodges. Now, I ended up coming down to this lake looking for rare rondas, and I actually spotted a level 9 red deer. You can see I was looking at those wild boar as well, making sure there's no rares there, as this lake, I do tend to find a few boar resting around it normally at the same time that the rondas drink, and I am keeping an eye out, hoping for a rare wild boar. I'd really like an albino, but a black gold or a melanistic would be cool as well. But it was kind of cool to see this rack on a legendary red deer. Now, I have shot red deer diamonds before that have half and half a rack, where one half of it is this rack, and it always looks quite unusual when they are uneven like that. But I'm really pleased that I actually managed to find a legendary that has this as a whole rack, and actually get that for the lodge, basically as for the collection of red deer. And you can see there, he is a diamond, managed to put a nice lung shot in him there. He is a diamond at 252.80, which isn't massive when 251 is diamond, but as I said, I'm just really happy to have this as a whole rack on a diamond red deer, because it just goes into having more variants of the diamonds for the lodge. And he is a really smart looking diamond, so really happy with that one. And from one red deer on Quattro Calinas to the next. I came to this lake as the first stop when I joined this server, and I didn't think anything of this. I thought this was just going to be completely normal, and when I came down here there was a legendary red deer. Now, I knew that this guy was big rack from looking at him, so I moved in and got ready to take a shot. Now, this is just going to go so weird from here on out. So you'll see me wait for him to lift his head up, and I go to take a shot, and you'll see that actually it landed nicely into his vitals. And that's always a relief when you see that the health is dropping on an animal like this. I was very, very excited, and I just double checked for some reason the hunting pressure. I don't know what made me do that, and as I'm running around, I get kicked from the server. Now, this doesn't happen a lot. I don't get kicked from servers when I have just shot something really cool. So the first thing I did was go back to multiplayer and look for the host that had just kicked me. Now, very luckily, I managed to get straight back into the same session. You can see the tracks here from the red deer, still spotted and everything. You can see my vital organ hit right here, and the diamond red stag led dead. Now, I knew that if I did get to pick this guy up, there was going to be no proof basically on the harvest screen to say that I shot this, so I'm really grateful that I recorded it, because he did make diamond at 263.80, which is a really nice sized diamond red deer when 251 is diamond, but as you can see, everything on the right hand side is blank. It doesn't say who shot it, it doesn't say what organs were hit, it doesn't even tell you that I shot it with the M1. But I'm really, 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 really glad that I was recording, because otherwise there's just no proof that I shot this. So I'm really glad that I actually managed to get into the session and hit tags. And you can see that shot there is not the shot that I took at all. It's completely the wrong angle. But my gosh, I was so annoyed when I got kicked, thinking that I would lose out on this giant diamond. He isn't my biggest diamond red deer ever, but it's just nice to get the really big ones. And this is a really, really, really nice size one. And I was really scared I was going to lose him. So I'm so grateful that I actually managed to get back in and pick him up and then leave the server so that I didn't get kicked after shooting anything else cool. Moving away from Quattro now to a clip from the Yukon Valley. I was once again in one of my favourite spots for grizzly bears, looking and hoping to find an albino, but I noticed that this particular female looked to be very, very dark. So I took a shot at it, and I knew it was going to be almost certainly melanistic. These can be quite hard to tell because there is a darker fur variant for these guys, and after running all the way around the lake, as I got really close to her, you can see that that is just a jet black grizzly, which is so, so cool to see. Like, that is a really cool looking animal. The melanistics for these guys look awesome, same as the albinos. So not quite the rare I was looking for, but it's still a rare grizzly bear, which is very cool to find. And you can see she is just a bronze, but a melanistic female grizzly. So another one probably to go into a secondary trophy lodge, but one that I'm happy to find anything whilst I'm actually looking for something specific. So another one I was really happy to get. Moving on now to some clips from Rancho del Arroyo, where I have had some really good luck over the past couple of days. Now, this actually only happened a couple of hours ago. I was down here looking again for rare pheasants, and once again had a legendary coyote run out in front of me, which is always really cool. Seeing the legendary coyotes like this is just awesome. When they were on late and only, they were so hard to find, and I only ever shot maybe 2 or 3 in total, so just seeing these guys is always such a thrill. And he did have a huge estimate of 56 to 62, so I was really hoping that this guy would be a diamond, and the distance that this guy actually fled really made me think he was going to make it. I've talked about this before, where trolls seem to not flee as far as actual diamonds. The actual diamonds do seem to be a bit more smart and a bit more survival focused than any of the smaller ones. And this guy just kept going and going and going. I was hoping that he would stop before he got into any of this brush, but he just did not want to stop. And I was at this point host of this server, so I could basically relax a little bit, but again, with anything on multiplayer, you want to get that animal dead as quickly as you possibly can, because your game could crash and you get back into that session and maybe the host changes the time to a completely different time and you never know where the animal goes. There's just so much that can go wrong. Now, I saw him stop in that little bit of open area up there, so I was going to try and get a shot at him, which is why I pulled the 243 out. However, he turned around immediately and started walking back down the little hill, and I could see the others in the group were already coming back, so I decided what I would do was crawl over to this little stone, which would give me just enough elevation to look over the tops of some of the longer grass, and then hope that he would actually come and walk past me, and I'd be able to get a nice, very close, hopefully, shot with the 243, which I always prefer a closer shot with an animal as small as a coyote. They are, a small animal which have a very small area that you actually want to hit to get the vitals. But you can see all of the others were starting to come back, the females and the smaller males like the level 5. So I was really hopeful that this guy would actually follow suit. I was hoping he hadn't just turned and walked away through all that brush, because I really didn't want to have to track him. Tracking at the minute is awful because of the particle effect not working. So you only have the tracks that are on the ground to actually see. So tracking anything that's got really, really small feet, like coyotes, is awful at the moment. I hope they fix that bug soon. But you can see here he is, trotting nervous back towards us, gets nice and close, and so I made him go alert there by actually standing up. I zeroed for 75, and as I was comfortable, took the shot, which just ended so perfectly. That is about as perfect as seeing a diamond and it spooking can go, for it to come back within that range and then just stand broadside long enough for you to get a shot you're comfortable with. Absolutely perfect. And you can see these guys do look so much better with the new models. I will keep saying it until the cows come home because I'm so happy that they got a model revamp. And he is a really big diamond at 57.40 when 56.80 is diamond. So a really, really, really nice sized diamond coyote, which is really cool to find. This is my, I think, 3rd or 4th diamond coyote from Rancho, so I'm really happy to have another one and actually have one that's this big. And now, finally, moving on to one of two of my favourite animals in this entire video, which I had to save for the very end because they're just a perfect pair. That right there is a Leucistic male pheasant. Now, finding rare male pheasants is not easy. I hunt pheasants extremely hard in multiplayer and single player, and I have shot only one, at this point, rare male pheasant. And it was a Leucistic that I got off my own map, and I believe it was an initial spawn when I actually found it. So I'm always keen to find more rare male pheasants. I mentioned many times they are probably my favourite species to actively hunt in this game, and one of my favourite species overall. I just love them because of the experience I've had with them in real life. They are just epic birds. They really are. They are so beautiful, and I just think they're awesome. So I decided, seeing as this guy was actually decent size and with a pretty decent estimate, that I was going to stalk nice and close to him and then charge at him with the shotgun, hoping that I would actually be able to flush him up and get a shot at him while he was in the air. So you can see I'm basically stalking him now, crouch walking very slow towards him, and as soon as he goes attentive, I'm going to drop to the floor and then crawl a little bit closer, because the last thing I wanted to do was actually have him go defensive or actually go to fleeing whilst I was still quite a distance away. So you can see that I have his spotting marker, so I'm going to put a waypoint on it just to give me a rough idea of how far away he actually is. And in a moment I am going to pop up just to check what state he's actually in, just check that he hasn't decided to run away or anything, and he is going to go alert and then start running. And that made me decide basically I was close enough to hopefully get a shot at him. You see that he went alert, and I just decided I didn't want him to go alert and start running, which I've seen a lot of pheasants do recently, so I get up and run towards him with the 20 gauge. Now thankfully he went defensive rather than fleeing and immediately taking off, so we're going to get a really nice look at him while he's running along the ground. And you can see I'm trying to get in front of him because I was wanting him to turn and fly the other way. And this made me panic because he did initially fly in a really weird angle, and the first shot missed, but the second shot thankfully got him. And I was so scared when that first shot missed that I was going to have to track this guy for a long time and possibly lose him. But picking up his disturbed vegetation here, just so you guys can see, he is a Leucistic, and that second shot must have been pretty good because it didn't take him long to actually go down. I have made a lot worse shots on pheasants that have taken them a lot longer to go down, and it was nice to see him go down with it in sight. But you can see the Leucistic males are absolutely beautiful, with a creamy coloured body and a sort of dark blue head with the then white cap on the very top. They are beautiful, and this guy actually made gold, 16.8 gold Leucistic male pheasant. That is really awesome because the first Leucistic male I have in my trophy lodge is only a silver, so to get a gold one is even better, and these just look so fantastic. Such a beautiful and unique rare, and oh, I'm just so happy to have one again, another one for the trophy lodge. Only got flesh with 2 pellets, but as you guys saw, brought him down within only a few meters of actually where we shot him, so I was really happy with this harvest. And finally, I found something I have been looking for since Rancho released. I picked up the track here of a male Melanistic Pheasant. Now, I had to keep checking that was a male because I have picked up female pheasant tracks with that weight estimate. So I knew he wasn't going to be big, but he was going to be melanistic, which is all I wanted. And I found this guy, and here he was in this bush. Now, I made a choice here to shoot him on the ground. That was completely intentional. I crashed on the day that I got this maybe 10 to 15 times. I crashed and I crashed and I crashed, and it was awful. And the last thing I wanted, seeing as this was in multiplayer, was to crash and lose this guy. And seeing as he was a level 1 male who would have been a tiny silver, literally not even that much above bronze, I just thought, I'll shoot him on the ground. He's not going to look any different. And in the lodge, I will actually get to see his score anyway. It's really not a big deal, seeing as he was so small. Like I said, I have picked up females with that weight estimate, which is quite funny. But just look at this bird. Isn't it stunning? This is why I have been wanting one of these for so long. That inky blue plumage is just gorgeous, with those purple highlights, just absolutely stunning. This is 100% one of the most beautiful and very rare animals in this game. I have only seen a handful of these posted, and they are just so rare. I am so pleased to have one. I'd like to get a bigger one, but like I said, I'm just so happy to have one. But I did intentionally shoot him on the ground, so before anyone says, oh, you could have got a full score by shooting him in the air, it was an awful place where I know that they quite often will go into the trees, and I didn't want to risk losing him. So I'm going to actually go to the Trophy Lodge, which is something I don't do in a lot of videos, as I'm saving a lot of my Trophy Lodge for a Trophy Lodge tour, which should be fairly soon. Let's have a look at these rare pheasants. So this is my pair of Leucistic males. You can see the gold one that we shot in this video and the silver one from before, and this Melanistic Pheasant. So you can see his trophy rating was 12.3, which is absolutely tiny. And I know it could have had a silver medal, but to me, it just doesn't matter. Because look at this bird. What's important about this harvest is just that beautiful, beautiful plumage. And just look at every detail on this guy's feathers being so blue. Oh, it's just stunning. One of the coolest rares ever, one of the coolest rares in this game, and one of the ones that, honestly, my heart was racing when I picked that track up. It was exactly what I've been looking for, and I'm so, so happy to finally have one of these guys. I am going to keep looking and hoping for more, because I would love to have these everywhere in my trophy lodge, but as I mentioned, they seem to be extremely rare. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.